Most of us have heard the phrase, history repeats itself 1,000 times. Usually, we just nod along and forget about it 2 seconds later. But have you ever stopped to think what that phrase actually means? It's not just some casual saying. It's more like a big red flag, a warning that we keep making the same mistakes over and over. And honestly, that should worry us. Think about it. Humans have been around a long time. You'd think we'd learn from our past mistakes, yet somehow we keep stepping into the same traps. Take something simple, money. You've probably heard of financial bubbles, right? People start buying stuff like crazy, convinced they're getting rich overnight. Prices rise ridiculously fast. And then, boom, the bubble bursts. Fortunes disappear overnight, and people swear they'll never let it happen again. But then another bubble pops up, and guess what? Yep, we jump right back in. It's like we've learned nothing at all. It happens again and again because humans are emotional creatures. We're guided by greed, fear, excitement. Those emotions haven't changed in thousands of years. They keep tricking us into repeating the same mistakes. It's not just money either. Look at politics, wars, conflicts. After World War I, countries promised never again. But within just 2 decades, World War II broke out. Why? Because signing treaties doesn't erase human feelings like hatred, pride, or resentment. Those feelings linger. They grow quietly until they explode again. Think about pandemics. In 1918, the Spanish flu hit the world hard, spreading quickly and overwhelming healthcare systems. Even then, many people refused to take simple precautions seriously. Masks and distancing were ignored or resisted. Sound familiar? It should. Because when COVID-19 emerged a century later, the reactions were strikingly similar. Despite clear warnings, many ignored the risks, dismissed safety measures, and repeated the same costly mistakes. Learning from past pandemics might have drastically reduced suffering, or consider civil rights movements. History is filled with groups fighting passionately for equal rights, women's suffrage, racial equality, LGBTQ rights. Each struggle faced enormous resistance, causing needless delays and pain. And yet, each generation seems to confront similar obstacles. The same arguments surface again and again, delaying justice and causing unnecessary suffering. If society genuinely learned from these past struggles, today's movements wouldn't have to battle for basic dignity repeatedly. We'd progress faster and with fewer scars. And that's exactly how history repeats. So why don't we pay attention? Why don't we stop repeating history? Maybe because we're taught to see history as a bunch of dates and names. It feels boring. We don't connect with it on a personal level. But history isn't dates, it's people. Real people making choices. Choices driven by emotions, just like yours and mine. When you realize that, history suddenly matters. You see how similar their lives were to ours. They had hopes, dreams, fears, and flaws. They messed up, sometimes badly. And here's the kicker. We're still messing up in exactly the same ways. Look around right now. Social media, misinformation, fake news. Feels new, doesn't it? But it's not. Hundreds of years ago, newspapers did exactly the same thing, spreading lies and causing chaos. Why don't we recognize the patterns? Because we like believing we're special, that our time is unique. But the truth is, history is always quietly whispering to us. It's warning us, pay attention. You've seen this before. Ignoring that voice means paying the price again. Only this time, the cost is usually higher. Take climate change. Scientists have been warning us for decades, but we dismiss those warnings again and again. We treat every flood, every hurricane, every wildfire like a random event. We pretend it's new each time, but they're not isolated events. They're connected. They're signals screaming at us, stop repeating your mistakes. If we ignore history's warnings now, we're gambling our future away. And that's not just scary, it's downright reckless. Same thing in politics. When leaders divide people or use fear to gain power, it isn't new. It's happened over and over throughout history. Yet somehow we always seem shocked when it happens again. Why are we shocked? Because we didn't bother paying attention last time. Let's talk about technology too. Right now, we're living through a massive tech revolution. AI, social media, automation. Everyone thinks this is totally new territory. But is it? Not really. Humans have faced huge technological shifts before. The Industrial Revolution changed lives dramatically in the 1800s. People panicked then, just like they're panicking now. They feared losing jobs and societal collapse. But we rarely look back at how they adapted and survived. If we studied these past shifts, we'd better manage today's rapid technological changes. We'd find smarter, kinder ways to handle job loss, inequality, and fear. Yet again, we ignore history and repeat past mistakes, thinking we're alone facing these problems. The solution here isn't complicated. We just need to start looking backward for clues. The answers are often right behind us. Think of history as your GPS. When you're lost, the GPS tells you how you got there and how to find your way out. History does exactly the same thing. It helps us see clearly what steps led to problems so we can avoid repeating them. Still, too many people prefer guessing, wandering aimlessly, rather than using the tools already available to them. That's not brave, it's stubborn. And stubbornness rarely leads to positive outcomes. But here's the good news. History repeating itself isn't set in stone. We can change it. How? First, we need to get curious. Instead of thinking history as some boring class, start seeing it as your own life story happening in another time. Ask yourself, what can their experience teach me? Second, get skeptical. Question simple answers and easy explanations. History isn't black and white. When someone offers simple solutions to complex problems, it's usually a trap. Learn from the past. Nothing meaningful is ever easy. Third, we need empathy. Put yourself in the shoes of people who lived before you. Feel what they felt. Understand why they made the choices they did. Empathy helps us see clearly why certain patterns repeat and how we can avoid them. Think about your own life for a second. Ever notice you keep repeating certain mistakes? Maybe relationships, friendships, or money habits? That's your personal history repeating. And guess what? The moment you realize it, you can choose to change. History works exactly the same way, just on a bigger scale. If each of us learns to recognize those repeating patterns, we start breaking cycles. We start building a better future, rather than repeating past failures. But we have to start paying attention. Ignoring history is like throwing away a manual, then wondering why you can't fix something. The past is our manual. It shows us exactly how and why things break down. Why would we ignore that? We can't change the past. It's already happened, but we can learn from it. We can avoid the same pitfalls. Remember, history isn't just repeating because it wants to. It repeats because we haven't learned the lessons yet. But it doesn't have to keep happening. Every one of us has the power to choose differently. So next time someone casually says, history repeats itself, challenge them. Remind them it's not just a phrase, it's a warning. It's history trying to wake us up, trying to get us to see clearly. Because history repeating isn't inevitable, it's our choice. We can keep making the same mistakes, or we can finally learn and grow. Honestly, there's never been a more important time to learn from history. With technology, global connections, and rapid change, the stakes have never been higher. Ignoring history now isn't just foolish, it's dangerous. But paying attention, that gives us the power to shape something better. Imagine a world where we genuinely learn from past mistakes. A world that doesn't endlessly repeat wars, financial crashes, or social divisions. It's possible, and it starts with us. Today, right now, decide to see history not as something distant or dull, but as a friend giving you the best advice possible. Ask questions, get curious, stay skeptical, feel empathy. Above all, listen to what history has to tell us. Because it's more than a phrase, it's a loud, clear warning. It's history begging us. Please don't repeat me again. Thanks for sticking around. Hit like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe for more meaningful conversations. See you next time.